What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the different types of conversations that you can have with women. My apologies if the topic that you usually talk about with women isn't on this list. I can't include every single thing on this list because if I did, the video would probably be like 5 days long because there's an infinite number of things that you can talk about with women. But you know, I just picked some very common things that you're probably going to experience when you have conversations with women, some common topics that everybody has probably came across or everybody's talked about at some point. Now, there's gonna be two types of people watching this video, right? The first type are the ones who get really nervous and their mind goes blank and they're not sure what to talk about, and so they're watching this video as a sort of guide. Now, the second type are the guys who just find that their conversations with women are boring, pretty forgettable, or they're not really able to engage their emotions. This is why you never let a woman lead the conversation. I can tell you guys with almost 100% certainty that when you let her pick the topic, ask the questions and talk about what she wants to talk about instead of what you want to talk about, you'll notice the life and energy of the conversation is going to dwindle so fucking quickly. Like, I'm sure you guys can relate to this, but sometimes I'll be talking to a girl, right? And then she'll be yapping about something I just don't care about. And the thing about me is I have a very, very bad poker face. Like, I can't pretend that I give a shit. So I naturally start yawning and thinking about something else while she's talking. And then she can pick up on the fact that I'm not present and I don't care. And then I start to feel bad because she feels bad, and it turns out to be a complete disaster. So to avoid this, you have to take the initiative, just like you're supposed to with everything else when it comes to women. It should almost always feel like you're the captain of the ship and then she's kind of responding and following along. That is how you get the best types of conversations with women, because you should never under any circumstances underestimate a woman's ability to turn a great conversation with a lot of substance into the most boring shit ever that has you scratching your fucking head going, how the fuck do I even reply to this? Like, do you guys ever get in those situations where a girl just yaps and yaps and yaps and like they're kind of the worst storytellers? So she'll tell you a story and it takes her 1,000 words to say it when it actually should have taken 100 words because the conclusion was so fucking underwhelming. And there might be some vegans or liberals watching this thinking, well, isn't this unfair? Shouldn't we be talking about something we're both interested in? And yes, that's exactly what this tier list is for. I'm going to be ranking these topics based on what is something that both of you would be interested in, right? What is the most gender neutral topic? What's most likely to be enjoyable for both of you? And what topics give you the most opportunity to laugh, tease, and just have a lot of fun? Remember, this tier list is specifically for women you're trying to attract, right? If you're with a fucking female friend or a woman you're not trying to attract, talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. You can even let her lead the conversation. Who gives a fuck? So anyways, I've been yapping way too much, but I'm gonna be ranking it on a scale from bad topic, which means avoid, right? These topics land you in the friend zone most of the time, all the way up to go-to topic, which means these actually use female psychology to your advantage, and they are fantastic topics to talk about, and you're probably going to win her heart. Of course, she has to be attracted to you and all that stuff. Let's not piss off the fucking black pillars, right? Anyways, if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe, and let's get into the video. So the first thing we have here is the weather, dude. Listen, this is just something we resort to when we don't know what the fuck else to say, right? It's kind of like a filler topic, and it's pretty necessary, dude. Some of you guys might be thinking, dude, I never want to have small talk with a girl. I would like to avoid that at all costs, but the truth is, think of small talk like a filler, right? Sometimes your brain isn't there, sometimes you have a bit of brain fog, you can't really think of the good stuff, so you need something to give your brain a little bit more time so you can transition into the more fun topics. Talking about the weather, dude, listen, I'm gonna put this at meh topic. You don't want to stay there for too long, but you know, saying it's kind of hot out today, huh? It's not gonna kill you, right? It's just a couple words, a couple exchanges, and it's a good gateway into moving on to better conversations. So I'm not gonna talk too much about it. The weather, pretty basic. I don't hate it, just make sure you're not fucking talking to her about the weather for 2 hours. Next up, we have her life. And this is where I'm gonna diverge from common dating advice. This is my personal take, but I think being a good listener and letting her talk most of the time is not good dating advice. I know it's the most common dating advice. I know it's what you hear when you watch other videos. They always say women love a good listener. They just want to feel heard. They just want to feel like, dude, here's the thing, right? The guys in the friend zone, they're doing the same shit you're doing. They're sitting there listening to her, acting interested in her life, acting interested in her problems. The truth is, if you are bored or you don't care about something, don't pretend that you do, okay? So if you actually find her life interesting and you care about her fucking dog and her career and her hobbies, sure, dude, you know, entertain yourself, have a bit of fun. But me personally, right, I feel like my brain's fucked because of all the dopamine and shit. I need something more stimulating, bro, because when a girl is talking most of the time, I actually get bored listening to her. Like I know this sounds kind of narcissistic, but I enjoy hearing myself talk way more than I enjoy hearing the girl talk. But of course, I'm not saying just talk about yourself the entire time and don't let her get a word in. But you know, this idea of just sitting there, nodding your head and listening and kind of just being this fake, oh yeah, I'm so interested in you and I'm not talking about myself. Look at how charismatic I am. Look at how much of a good listener I am. I just don't like it, dude. Like if you're the type of person who's interesting and who likes to talk a lot, then you know you can talk a lot. And here's the thing, you can also tease her about her own life, right? So you don't have to sit there listening to her yap, because trust me, the more you let her yap, the more she's gonna talk and talk and talk. And you might be thinking, well, isn't that good? I'm talking less, she's talking more. Sure, you know, you can still attract her that way. I'm not saying you can't secure the bag, but it's just boring, bro. Like you also want to show your personality and who you are, and you won't have an opportunity to do that if you just let her talk about herself the entire time. Like the only exception to this is if she's actually an interesting girl and she has interesting things going on. But let's just call a spade a spade. Most chicks are boring. Most girls have nothing going on. They're just on their phones 24/7. They're home all the time. They go to uni, they drink their coffee, they go to the gym, they come back home. Well, to be fair, most guys are like that too, but chicks are just boring. So I'm gonna say you want to balance it 50-50. You want to listen to her talk about herself a bit. You want to, you know, indulge in that, but then you also want to transition the topic to yourself. And so I'm gonna put this at good topic. For me, the approach I like to take is if I'm talking about her, I'm either teasing, I'm flirting, or I'm laughing at her. I'm making fun of her for something. Next up, we have her future. And you might be thinking, isn't that the same as her life? Yeah, we could call it a subset of her life, but really, I love talking about her future. I would actually put this at great topic. What you want to do is when you're with a girl, you tell her, hey, just close your eyes and imagine yourself in 20 years. Tell me what you see yourself doing or who you see yourself with. And then she's probably going to close her eyes. She's going to tell you, oh, I see myself with a house and a car and 2 kids. But the thing is, if you're with her, and let's assume she's single, who do you think she's thinking about? Who is she with? It's you, right? So you're using the power of her imagination. You're incepting the idea that you're going to be with her in the future and that you guys are going to get married. And so you're kind of creating an attachment out of thin air. I know there's going to be people saying, oh, this only works if you have a negative candle till or some shit. Fuck off, bro. If you remind her of her imminent death and her future, she's going to be in more of a panic to actually get in a relationship. And I mean, you're the guy who's there, so why not? No, but in all honesty, though, I'm probably going to put it a good topic. It's the same as talking about her life. Next up, we have your life. This is actually a great topic, bro, because I'm willing to bet that you have a more interesting life than her. And if you don't, make sure that you have a more interesting life than her. I'm tired of this dating advice that goes around that, oh, women like humble guys and they don't like narcissists or guys who talk about themselves a lot. Bullshit. They love a guy who's all about himself. The guy who is selfish and always thinking about himself and always talking about himself. What happens? She enters his frame. She's now in your world. When you're talking about yourself, it's your reality, your world, and she's just a side character in it. And of course, if she's the side character, you're the main character. So now there's a discrepancy in your value compared to hers. So when you talk about yourself in your life, it doesn't necessarily mean that like you have to brag or you have to boast, but tell her who you are, show her who you are. You know, you're a cool guy with a bunch of hobbies. If you're a great storyteller, that's a perfect thing to leverage. Women love hearing stories, especially if it's interesting and if it's something that engages her emotions. That's amazing as well. There's a lot of opportunities for her to start asking you questions and start getting to know you and being interested in you instead of what she's used to on these dates, which is guys always forcing themselves on her and asking her all the questions, and there's not really much reciprocation there. So really, guys, you should start talking about yourself more. Next up, philosophy. Yeah, it really hurts to do this because I love philosophy. This is a bad topic, guys. You never want to start philosophizing with a girl. Have you guys ever noticed that all the great philosophers and thinkers of the past never got married? Think Nietzsche, Descartes, Kant, Schopenhauer. None of these guys got married. Even Isaac Newton didn't get married. Like, yeah, you could say Socrates got married, but he picked the most irritating woman he could find just so he could test his stoicism. So there's something to be said about being great and not getting married. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. But on a more serious note, the reason you should never talk philosophy with chicks is because most of them just don't care. Women don't like men who make them think. They like men who make them feel, right? So if you're this logical guy who likes to think about the nature of the world world and materialism and determinism and all these fancy concepts. Do that with your guy friends, or do that with women in college or in professional settings. I'm sure there's some smart women who talk philosophy, but from a pure dating lens and attraction lens, philosophy is an attraction killer, dude. I have to tell you guys from personal observation, women generally don't care about things that don't impact their immediate reality, right? Things that aren't tangible or in front of them, they don't really care about. So when we talk about things like philosophy, it's too far out of the tangible for a woman to actually grasp and care about. Men, on the other hand, they tend to be more visionary. They tend to be more introspective and more, they like to contemplate. I don't think women do as much. Next up, we have the opposite of philosophy, which is dumb stuff. This is a fucking goated topic. You guys need to get on this meta, bro. Talking to women about dumb shit that doesn't even make sense is the move. For example, look at the picture here. We see a goat sticking its tongue out. You talk to a woman, you say, hey, you see that goat with its tongue out? Stick your tongue out for me. What the fuck? You look exactly like that goat. And then she starts going hee hee ha ha, and then now you made her laugh. You engaged her emotion over something so stupid. When we talk about dumb stuff, we are dropping to the woman level. And that's not to insult them or say that they're dumb or anything. I'm just saying they are in the language of play, of fantasy, of emotion, and usually to engage that emotion you have to take off your logical brain, you have to turn your overthinking brain off and just flow and vibe. Dumb stuff isn't actually dumb. What it means is that you're present and that you're just enjoying yourself. You're not taking yourself too seriously. Hey, you kind of look like that fucking movie character I saw a week ago. Or you could make a knock knock joke. Just anything to get the vibe loose and get the vibe friendly. You know, when you say dumb stuff, you lower her anxiety, because a woman's anxiety tends to be really high when the guy's tense and serious and tries presenting himself in this professional manner. When you're able to just dumb stuff down, it's really fun and they enjoy it. So I'm gonna put it at goated topic. Next up, we have immediate environment. This is also a goated topic. Let me give you guys a tip you should never forget if you're the type of person whose mind goes blank or you run out of things to say. Always pay attention to the immediate environment. What she's wearing, what the buildings around you guys look like, where you guys are at, all of the things that are around you and shape your environment. You could strike up a convo with it so quickly, right? And again, like I said with women, it's very easy to talk to them because typically shallow and superficial things work better than deep things. I know your whole life you've been told, no, you should strike a deep conversation, you should go deeper. Dude, deep talk is the worst thing you want to do with a girl. Always keep it vibes, keep it playful, keep it fun. You don't want to start treading into the, yeah, my life is so hard and I've been anxious and I've been taking all these. No. Just be like, yeah, this red shirt is amazing, where'd you get it from? And then she's gonna be like, oh, I got it from H&M. The immediate environment that surrounds you guys is gonna be a great gateway to talk about things and have conversations really easily. You don't really have to try to think of anything because everything you need to talk about is literally right in front of you. And the reason these two are goated is because shallow and superficial is easy and it works best with women. Don't overcomplicate anything. Literally, bro, if you never want to struggle again when it comes to talking to women, just close your eyes and the first thing that pops in your head, say it. It doesn't matter how stupid or how cringe it sounds. Whatever pops in your head, say it. As long as you say it confidently and as long as you say it with some assertiveness, like you don't give a fuck, I promise the delivery is always going to be good and she's going to laugh and enjoy it. That doesn't work with men, right? With men, it doesn't matter how confident you sound. If you say something stupid, they're going to be like, what the fuck is this guy saying? Like, you're going to look like a clown. With girls, you never look like a clown as long as your body language and the way you come across isn't clownish. Next up, we have girl stuff, aka talking about makeup, lip fillers, gossip, you know, the breast implants, whatever the girls talk about. Listen, I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, nah, that's so gay, bro. Any guy who does this is gay, he's a simp. And let me tell you right now, there's a difference between being gay and being secure within your own masculinity. And this is absolutely gay. Next up, we have sports. Now, you see, sports are cool. If she's the type of girl who plays sports, you can get away with it. Like if she plays for the fucking lacrosse team, you can talk about lacrosse. But generally, women aren't that into sports, and especially sport politics. I know a lot of you guys, a lot of my friends are sports nerds, but generally, sports isn't that gender neutral, and it's pretty boring to talk about with a girl because she doesn't probably have as much sports knowledge as you. So it tends to be a one-sided conversation. I'm gonna put this at meh topic. It's not the worst, but you don't want to stay there for too long, because I would imagine from a woman's perspective who doesn't play sports, you talking about sports is the same as her talking about the girl stuff, right? It's kind of the same thing. They get bored and annoyed by it. We get bored and annoyed when they talk about dumb girl shit that doesn't matter to us. Next up, we have movies/TV shows. I think this is a great topic. Let me explain why. Every girl watches movies, every girl watches TV shows. You talk to her about the movies or the TV shows, you have so much material to talk about. You both watch The Vampire Diaries, talk about The Vampire Diaries, talk about what happened in season 2, season 3, talk about how you were fucking pissed off by the way it ended or what that character did. Really easy thing to talk about, good conversation, and you can transition into more fun things later. But generally, I would say movies and TV shows take advantage of the fact that women absolutely love them. And let's be real, a lot of them do nothing but watch these things all day. So I'm not even hating, I'm just speaking the facts. Next up, we have politics. Now, you see, this can go either way, man. And for those of you watching me who happen to be blind and you want to find out a quick way to test whether a girl is attractive or not, what I want you to do is just bring up something political and measure how triggered she gets. If you start hearing yelling and screaming and some triggered shit, chances are she's below a 5 in attractiveness. Because let me tell you this, hot girls don't give a fuck about politics for the most part, okay? Some hot girls do, but generally if a girl is a baddie, you think she gives a fuck? You think she's there reading the news or she gives a fuck about what happened in fucking Libya? She doesn't care, bro. She's a baddie in the US. She's getting male attention. She only cares about her own life and celebrities and Kim Kardashian. She doesn't care about politics. Usually it's the mids and the quite unattractive girls who are very politically invested and who care a lot about politics, unless it's an attractive girl who studies political science or some shit. Unless you're sure this girl has a good head on her shoulders and she's not the type to get triggered and fucking pissed off because of an opinion, you can talk about politics. Generally, I'd say avoid, especially with white chicks. White chicks, you can trigger them so easily, especially if you have opinions like me. You really don't want to be talking politics. So let's put this at meh topic. Next up, music. I'm gonna say music is a good topic. Lots of women love listening to music. Again, it's pretty limited. It's not one-to-one. You're talking about something that's outside of the two of you. So you can connect off of music and liking it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, she's gonna be more attracted to you. Next up, we have work. If your work is cool and you do amazing shit and you're excited to talk about your work and you're passionate, go ahead and talk about it. If you work some boring 9-to-5 office job and you're stressed out because your boss just gave you a lecture or got pissed at you because you didn't complete a task on time, don't bring that energy to her, okay? Any energy that signals stress, reality, work, bills, it turns women off. It makes them not want to talk to you. They always want good vibes and good energy. So the bad energy that you get from work, you don't want to transmit that. I know if you're in a relationship or you're married, it's different, but chances are if you're married, you're not watching a video like this. Generally speaking, guys, you don't want to bore women with work details. They don't give a shit anyways. I'm just being honest. Let's move on. Next, worries/struggles/depression. No. You don't want to talk about this either. If you talk about these things, yes, they're going to pretend like they care, and they may even offer a helping hand and say that they're there for you. And honestly, they might really be there for you. They might actually genuinely have your best interest at heart. But when it comes to attraction and when it comes to sexual interest, that's going to decrease and it's all going to blow up in your face, okay? So you don't want to talk about these things because they're anti-seductive. They don't turn her on. They don't make her feel the right emotions. It's not really taking the conversation anywhere, and it's not escalating it. So keep these for your friends, your mother, your female relatives, your female friends, but girls you're trying to attract, avoid. Next up, your ambitions. So Arthur Schopenhauer said it best when he said that women perceive the appearance of a thing for reality. Women only perceive what is in front of them and what is currently happening in the present moment. They don't really see your ambitions. So when you talk to a girl about how ambitious you are, they don't actually give a fuck. Your intended goal when you talk about your ambitions to a woman is to make her think that you have potential. But women don't see potential, they only see what is. And you are not your ambitions yet because you haven't achieved them. So there's no point in talking about it. If anything, talking about your ambitions may be used against you because she might be like, you know, this guy might be a money maker in the future. Let me hold him off. Let me put him to the side. I'm not going to give him the box now. Let me make him wait. And then maybe because he has some potential, I will marry him later after I'm ran through and I'm done with all the other guys who don't give a fuck, who are basement dwellers, but they're still attractive, so I'm still sleeping with them. That is why you don't really talk about your ambitions. It's anti-seductive. It gives off husband or boyfriend energy, but really you want to work towards your ambitions silently. You don't want to be yapping about it to a woman. Next up, we have money. Again, women perceive the appearance of a thing for reality, it's much more effective to show that you have money rather than talk about the digits in your bank account, because the number in your bank account, it doesn't register in her head. It doesn't mean anything to her. But if you live a lifestyle that indicates that you have money, aka you wear the gold chains, you wear the Rolexes, you pull up in the Lambos, then okay, now we're talking money, right? So generally speaking, if you talk money, it could actually be used against you, because a woman might place you in a beta provider category where it's like, yeah, this guy's only good for money, and you don't want to signal that that's all you're worth. You know, it's okay if you're talking about it really quick, but really I would say avoid this topic. You don't want to bring up money. Next up, we have your past breakups or rejections. I actually had to include this on the list because so many guys feel the need to tell women about what their ex did, or you know, the previous girl they dealt with, or how unlucky they've been with women. Guys, you never want to talk about your past in a negative light, because in her mind she's going to think other women rejected him, other women broke up with him, why should I be with him? You know, you have to always show off that you're pre-selected, and talking and yapping about your past breakups and rejections, that's displaying pre-rejection. You're instantly rejecting yourself in her eyes. Because let's be real, bro, I've said this on the channel a lot, and I know you guys agree with me here. Women, for the most part, are groupthink, hive mind creatures. Why would you purposely put yourself at a disadvantage by showing her that the rest of the hive don't want you? It doesn't make sense. So really, this is a terrible topic. Avoid this at all costs. Next up, we have relationships, love, sexual dynamics. Instantly goated. You see, the thing about me is I'm not that interested in a lot of things that women talk about. But one thing, when they talk, I will actually be quiet and listen, is when they talk about what they're interested in a guy, what attracts them, things that they love in a partner, and sexual dynamics. Not only because I make videos on it, so whatever they say, it kind of registers in my head as information that I could eventually relay to you guys. But also, it's just something interesting, right? We're dating, we're in the dating scene, we're getting to know each other so we can potentially build some romantic chemistry. Why not talk about the romance? Why not talk about the relationship, the sexual dynamics, the love? This is usually where you can flirt and where you can talk about really intimate things that you wouldn't be able to in a lot of these other conversation topics. Next up, your self-improvement journey. Yeah, similar to your ambitions, women don't care about your transformation. In fact, you almost want to give off the vibe that you were born this way. You never want to show women that you had a transformation or that you struggled in any way. I know it sounds crazy to you, but let me tell you the facts as they are, and I don't care if you want to believe it or not. I know this is going to offend people. This is going to offend a lot of soft people. Men respect the struggle. Men respect the hero's journey. Men respect your self-improvement. Women don't give a fuck. When you post the transformation, they don't give a fuck. When you post the oh, look at how much weight I've lost, they don't give a fuck. It's only men who respect it, because men respect hard work and coming from nothing. Women only see the final product. How many times do I have to say this? It's only what is in front of them that they see. Next up, astrology. This is actually a great topic, bro. I know you guys are gonna think I'm crazy now. You've lost it, bro. What the fuck? Dude, women love astrology. Just fucking talk about it like you're an expert. I know nothing about astrology. I don't even know what a fucking Leo is, but I still will say, yo, what's your star sign? And then she tells me, I'm actually a Scorpio. And then I go, yeah, I'm sorry, this isn't gonna work. I'm a Pisces, we're not compatible. Disqualify her based on her zodiac sign. Have a little bit of fun with it, dude, okay? I think it's fun. I think it's pretty interesting. You can read up on the little traits and see if she matches them. Like, there's just a lot you can work with astrology. It's not serious. Again, it kind of falls into dumb stuff, right? It kind of falls into this, but I think it's great. Next up, we have people. Now, don't quote me on this, but I think it was Aristotle who said, great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, and weak minds discuss people. And let me tell you, I'm not saying that women have weak minds, but they love discussing people. What do you guys think women talk about when they're alone all the time? They're not talking about physics or quantum mechanics. They're talking about other people. They are gossiping. They love gossip. They love drama. And if you're able to talk about people, not saying you have to gossip or do any of that gay shit, but being able to talk about her friends, your friends, social dynamics, like the people around you guys, what this guy said the other day, they love it. It actually engages their emotions. They're super receptive to that stuff. So I'm gonna say people is a goated topic, bro. You actually do want to talk about people with women. And if I can just drag this to the top, there we go. They're social creatures. They're way more socially calibrated calibrated than men will ever be, so you might as well just play into that game. And lastly, we have food. Food is a great topic, guys. You're out on a date, talk about the food, talk about what you enjoy. Women love food. They love taking pictures of food and posting it on social media. So there's a lot to work with there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.